Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. And we have a review, the final review of the new Czech heavy line, the Tier 9. So I've actually been sitting on this review for a little while, had the gameplay part of it done. So we're going to go through the old garage trawl on the TNH VZ51 Tier 9 Czech heavy tank, the breakthrough tank. Standard act, we're going to go ahead and look at an overview. Look at the tech tree considerations, the 3D model on this tank, a comparison amongst its peers, my stats, how I have mine set up, and some gameplay for the Tier 9 Czech TNH VZ51 autoloader. Is it? I don't know. We're going to look at it because it has two viable guns. Very interesting. Overview wise, let's take a look at this bad boy. There's actually something I'm going to show you here in just a minute, but it is a breakthrough heavy tank in terms of Wargaming's role for it. Early 1950s, developed the project of a heavy tank for the Czech army. It was overcome and discontinued by buying Soviet armor, Warsaw Pact stuff. Interesting. Tier 8 heavy tank looks a lot like it, my friends, the premium. Whereas the Tier 8 heavy tank tech tree looks nothing like the premium. These are basically the same hull, more or less. The numbers are different, but it looks like the same kind of design. Interesting that the premium is a Tier 8 premium and the Tier 9 is a Tier 9. It is a relatively front-mounted turret, kind of small actually for a heavy tank. It's got a great big old, I want to say I don't know, where is this thing? 122 millimeter, I believe, is what we've got on this thing here, because this is the single shot 122, and it carries a two-shot autoloader 122 millimeter, whereas the Tier 8 premium carries 130 millimeter and actually has a higher alpha. I don't know, my friends. I don't make this up. I just report on what's going on here. Relatively angled hole right there, pretty large lower plate, rounded hull or rounded turret with some skirts for some spaced armor on it. It does have a cupola right there that is hittable, but it's quite small, relatively flush, not easy to hit, but it is a weak spot up there on that tank. Let's take a look at tech tree considerations for this. As noted in prior reviews for the Tier 7 and the 8, it's coming off the Skoda T25, which is a medium tank, but you will probably have been moving your heavy tank crews from the VZ44 to the TNH 105 and then to the TNH TVZ. Realize that coming from the 44-1, you do have a radio operator, you lose him, it moves to the commander at the Tier 8. At the Tier 9, now your commander, gunner, driver, loader, with the commander being the radio operator, and the VZ55 is the same loadout right there. Taking a look at this tank, it does have quite a few things to unlock. One each of the radio, engine, and tracks, pretty standard. There is another turret further along the line, but you're going to go through the single shot gun, the Tier 9. It comes with the standard 105 here. The Tier 9 single shot, and then the two-shot autoloader. The Tier 8's the opposite. The two-shot autoloader is first, and then the single shot gun. If you've watched my Tier 8 review, I believe at Tier 8 that the single shot gun, in my opinion, is the superior gun. On this tank, the single shot comes first, and then the two-shot after. We're going to look in the comparison, the difference between the numbers, but I actually enjoy this tank more with the single shot on it. There are some capabilities with the alpha on the two shots for the two-shot autoloader. We'll take a look at that, but I really felt like the single shot was superior, and it seemed a lot like a T10 at that point. So little bit of a letdown in terms of the two-shot auto loader on this thing. I think the Tier 10 is superior in regards to having the two-shot auto loader at tier. So that's the tech tree considerations. Let's look at the 3D model. All right, 3D model in tanks.gg. Let's take a look at this bad boy. Not too bad. We've got a decent upper hull at 243, fairly thin lower hull, and it's quite big actually. Get some angle on it, you get that standard auto bounce kind of idea. The side of the tank is sitting at about 90 or 80, depending on where you put the cursor there, so it's an okay side scraper in terms of that. The turret is decent. We've got some spaced armor here at 50 millimeters. It's actually quite thick for spaced armor. And then 195 up to 225, it looks like 274 around the mantlet right there. There's that little sliver of a cupola at about 200 or so, which is hard to hit, but is thinner obviously than the rest. We get some auto bounces because it is kind of a rounded turret, a little bit Soviet-esque, at least frontally, and then the back we got some nice flat bits I'm assuming ammo storage and stuff back there. So front mounted, a decent profile from the turret. Quite a strong turret, actually. Not bad at all at tier 9. The hull is a little bit indifferent, not great. A little bit like a T10. It's going to bounce some lower tier stuff if they're not careful, and the lower plate really needs to be hidden on this tank. Let's move on to a comparison. Well, all right, let's look at a comparison. Remember that this is going to be just the tank with 100% crew, no equipment, no skills, no buffs, no field modifications. I have a selection of double barrels and autoloaders and auto reloaders, similar-ish. This is the autoloader version right here. On the right, we'll cover this after we do the autoloaders, auto reloader double barrel guys, and we'll look at it with a single shotgun versus the T10. So the TNH TVZ51, Progetto 66, the auto reloader, the IS-32, the double barrel, and the Emil-2, the auto loader. 440 on the average damage. Compares favorably. 252 is a pretty good standard pen. 4.23 in the rate of fire. The reload is 25 seconds with a 2.5 intra-clip shot timing. Not bad. 25 seconds? Boy, that's up there. 41 seconds for the Progetto 66 to get everything reloaded there. The IS-32, 20 for both of its shells. And the Emil-2 at 24. Wait a minute, what? The Emil-2, my friends, at 24. The Emil-2 with a 440 alpha is reloading 3 shells as fast as the TNZ TVZ51 does. All right, well, very interesting. Gun traverse is okay, comparable to the rest. -7, the gun depression is a little bit painful, not great. 2.59 aiming time, a little bit high. 0.38 dispersion for the auto loader version. Ouch. Progetto 0.35. 0.38 on the IS-32 and 0.36 on the Emil. OMG, my friends. This is the tail of the tape that matters. After looking at that, it's hard to believe the TNH TVZ51, 1,860 DPM. You read that right, 1,860 DPM, whereas the Emil-2 with the same reload for 3 shells at 440 alpha with the -12 depression and basically the same reload and dispersion, 2,599. Let me just check and make sure I haven't made a mistake. Nope, it's correct. I don't have anything on there. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe. All right. Wow. 1,900 hit points. Hey, it wins in the hit point race. It's got 200 more hit points than the Emil-2. We're looking at the armor, 130 and 80. 300 on the turret. Remember I said the turret was pretty darn good? Absolutely. The Emil-2, even though it is highly sloped, only has 215. However, in the right situation, the Emil-2 makes auto bounce angles pretty nice right there. 80 on the sides makes it an okay side scraper. In comparison to the rest of the turrets, it's actually really nice, especially considering the Progetto's only 195. And the IS-32 has a good turret at 280, but it has 20 more millimeters than it does. And we just discussed the Emil-2. If we take a look at the speed, it does 50. Well, that is one thing that it has, but guess what the Emil does, my friends? It does 56. It also backs up faster. Wow. All right, traverse speed is okay at 31. And we've got a 380 view range. Well, that stinks. Not bad. Not bad, really, actually, at Tier 9, and it's comparable to the rest of them. Let's jump over then to the single-shot version of the TNH versus the T10, and I find these to be very comparable vehicles. If we look at the time, look at the numbers on this, look how similar they are. Slightly less pen, very similar rate of fire. A little bit less on the traverse speed. Better depression at -7. Certainly better aiming time. And 0.35, better dispersion than the T10. And look at what happens to the DPM. When you go with the single shot, it goes to 2,294. What you lose is that burst of 440 or 880 total if you pen and hit with both of them. 880 average damage on the 2 shots. But the DPM and the more versatile use of the cyclical gun is a much better by 400 DPM. Obviously, the hit points are the same, very similar to a T10. The armor layout is very similar, and the nod goes to the TNH in the turret region with 300 thickness, whereas the T10 gets to 250. Still a pretty good turret on the T10, but much, much better on the TNH. Looking at the speed, they're both 50 with 15 in reverse, and the rest of the numbers are very similar, although the T10 for some reason has 400 view range. That one's a head scratcher, because typically the Russian tanks don't have great view range, but this one does. What does this tell me? Well, the TNH's numbers are not great. I think it performs a little bit better than its numbers just based on its mobility and to get around the battlefield. It does hit pretty hard at 440 for a Tier 9 heavy, not bad at all. Understanding there's considerable number of Tier 10 heavies that only do 400. But the accuracy difference between the double shot autoloader and the single shot is one of the things that I think that kind of cripples the two-shot autoloader. Like I said, you do have that 880 burst, but you have much more accuracy, and I think the ability to put the DPM down range is better on the cyclical single shot gun than it is on the double shot. But this entire line is supposed to be these two-shot auto loader type of tanks, so you do lose something when you go with just a single shot Czech tank that's more or less a T10 that the Czechs have. Both are viable in my opinion. Let me know down below which one you guys actually like. I think a lot of people are going to lean towards the two-shot just because it's got that bang bang ability to really put the hurt on somebody if you can hit, if you can pen. Otherwise, you're really just playing a T10 more or less. And it's not a particularly spectacularly better T10. It's just a little bit better. Not much, a little bit. All right, let's take a look at my stats in this tank. I played 41 games in this tank, probably I want to say 3 or 4 after I unlocked the Tier 10. So it was somewhere around 38, 37 battles to unlock a Tier 10. That is unbelievable. However, I had a bunch of blueprints, and I would like to not use the blueprints and just do the grind, but you don't really have that option. So I ended up using the blueprints and blasting through it. 56% win rate, over 1,000 average XP, which is pretty good. Victories at, battles survived at 41%. That speaks to a decent win rate. 1.65 damage, 2.79 on the destruction. Armor use at 0.46. That's a situational armor kind of idea. Anytime you're around 0.5, you're situational. 2,500, which is better than some of my Tier 10 heavies, to be quite honest. Low sample size, I got it, 41. We'll see what happens when I get to 100. We'll revisit it and look at it. 407 with assistance, and I managed a 5,000 damage game with 5 kills at some point with 1,977, although that's not, I don't think that's base experience. And that is right in line to slightly better than most of my Tier 9s. I did a bit of try hard. I was using some food. Also, some of those games are double barrel, some of them are single barrel. I ended single barrel. I just enjoyed that one more. I started with the double barrel, but I didn't see a big performance difference. For me, I was more comfortable using the single barrel. So let's take a look at my setup. Okay, crew-wise, it was basically this crew. It wasn't this one. I have another about 4 skill crew that I'm using with the Czechs. I've done a lot of switching around. The crew that was in it has moved on to the Tier 10. It was these guys, so as you can see, 4 skills. So the crew was good. I had Vents, Vert Stab, IRM. That's probably about the best you're going to get, although you could use, with the single shot, you can roll with a gun rammer. Or you could, if actually, you could. You can't. There's, I have to tell you, there is no gun rammer. There isn't. You can't. It's not an option. I don't know why. It's an oversight or what's going on. You can see I clearly have, maybe it's a bug, I don't know. I clearly have the single shot cyclical. I go here, I click on this, and I say, where is the gun rammer? No can do, my friends. No gun rammer for you. Don't know if it's an oversight or if it's a bug. I was running food for the most part and not a fire extinguisher. While I was grinding, I was also using directives. I think it was a vent directive. So this is about the best setup you're going to get, especially if you're going to use the 2-shot auto reloader. You could throw a turbo on it and make it even faster, but I don't think it needs it at 50. That's to taste. I ran about 10 to 12 APCR. It is an APCR round. For its gold round, gets up to 294. Man, you'd love to have above 300, but there you go. 294 is pretty good. And as I said, 252 is not bad for a regular round. And it's APCR as its gold round. It doesn't have the issues with the heat rounds and such. Let's take a look at a couple examples of gameplay, and then we will wrap this thing up for my review of the Tier 9 Czech Heavy, the TNH TVZ 51. First gameplay example, top tier domination. I am running the 2-shot autoloader in this particular game. So top tier is always a nice thing right here. We are on encounter mode in Berlindorf, Himmelslindorf. We'll come across here looking for a shot. It's always good to have a fast heavy that can get here, or medium, and you can punish people who cross, and you do a little bit of something like that right there. It's very nice. It's very nice. Right into the side of the tier 8 version, or the tier 8 Czech heavy. Does anybody else want some? And now you've got to go into the calculus. And this is the thing about the auto-loading tanks, and especially this one with only 2 shots. Do I sit here and wait for a shot for a while with the corresponding lack of DPM that I'm going to get out of it, or should I have hit C? Well, it's been about 20 seconds. I probably should have hit C, but I didn't know that, did I? When the first guy went by. And now I'm still sitting here with 1 reload in there, and I get a shot in. Okay, fine. Now I'm on a 20-second reload, so I might have actually had 2 shells right there if I'd hit reload right after. But again, let's go back to the fact that I didn't know if somebody else might not come around the corner, and that's the trick. With any autoloader or auto reloader, a similar calculus comes up, although an auto reloader keeps you in the game a little bit better than an autoloader does. And this one especially with the 20-odd seconds and the only 2 shells. We'll put 1 in there, and he's going to give me another one. He's not even looking at me. Yep, so we'll just back on out of here. And the KV3 wants some. The KV3 says, well, geez, you're getting some shots. Can I just come up here? And the TNH 105-1000 says, well, yeah, come on up here, buddy. That's good. Good job. And he takes 2 shots. And now he's just sitting there. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, KV3, can you be more of a Muppet? So he kind of wanders around right there. We'll cross here and see if we can get a shot on this guy. Okay, and we'll get one more. I don't know what this dude's doing. We'll just... Oh, and I missed. I missed. Maybe rushed that just a little bit. Thought maybe he was just starting to look at me, and now we're on that next reload. But we've already dropped this tank. You will be playing this tank, and you will look down at the damage and go, where did all that come from? Sometimes, and then at other times you'll be playing it, and you'll be like, why am I always on a reload and I can't get any damage? It's very interesting with this 2-shot auto loader on this thing. It just feels like that quite a bit. So we'll just come across here and we just shoot him on the run. Decent accuracy in this thing. Can we just kill him? No, he got away. Is he going to sneak out here? No. Am I going to get shot from the middle? Yes, if I sit here. So let's not do that too much. Oh, wait a minute. There's guys in there. I've sort of put myself in a bit of a pickle. I like moving across this road, but with a bunch of guys in the middle like that, it can be quite dangerous. So I had that 1 shell. I sort of looked for, am I going to get a shot? And then I realized I had to hit the reload, so I had 2 shells ready to roll here in just a minute. I really need to peel these guys out of here, but there's another autoloader in there. The 54E1 can hurt quite a bit if I stick my nose out there and let him get shots on me. So those guys are all hiding in corners. There's also a Progetto 66 over here. So I also don't want to let him have shots. So many autoloaders in this game. That's when I realized the 54E1 was actually in a hurting status. And then I think, well, I just need to kill this dude because let's just get rid of him. There we go. And I got another shell for this guy if he wants it. There we go. He gets 1 too. And now we're on a reload. So we're out of the fight for 20 seconds. Good news is, Buddy comes in and kills him. So we're at 3,130. Moving on in this way. Think about following the super. Should I follow him or go somewhere else? Let's go somewhere else. Head over here. Decently mobile heavy tank. We'll come out here and see if we can snipe a llama ding dang some of these guys. Here we go. Here's some damage. Nope, he gets out of the way. How about this guy? No. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Is he actually going to come out? He is. And there we go. Oh, nothing. But he killed my KV3 buddy, who has spent most of the game wandering around getting in open areas and shot. Probably a new player. Probably a new player. They are really piled into the center area right there, but we've got somebody blocking the cap for us. The LT432 is doing a nice job. He actually wins that little exchange with the CS. And this guy's in trouble. There we go. So we get rid of him. And maybe this guy. Nope, we'll just miss him. And we wait. Now we're down to 3. I talk about this a lot. Pay attention to your reloads. I probably want to be pressing 1 after I get reloaded here, so the next reload goes to the regular AP. Otherwise, I'm going to reload in 20 seconds a single APCR shell. Or I take 1 shot and then hit C and reload the 2. Which, if I have time to do so, that's probably a good idea. So I'm like, where is this guy? Is he hiding? He must be hiding behind a dead Hulk. I can just barely get 1 little pixel on him. Maybe the 430 will give me a shot. No, he bails out, looks like. Oh, wait a minute. There was some side shot. One shot, like I said, hit C, reload the 2. And now I can probably push in. Looks like all their guys are hanging out in the back somewhere. We're up to 3,500 damage. Probably need to dive in. Ooh, I missed a shot there, I bet. Yep, I missed that a couple times. I think that guy was actually shotable, but he ends up dying. One thing you do have to be careful with in this game is he gets the shot on me. Is stopping out in the open to take shots, and somehow they both bounce off the Panther. So we'll just go ahead and hide. That's all right. No big deal. 432 is probably going to rough him up. Spin back around, and maybe if we get reloaded here, and he's not dead, but he does die. Very good. And now we have the ability to push across. There's a T-29. We got a TS-5 way across there. 1357. T-29's over there. No shot on him. He's behind the berm, so we'll keep pushing on into the low ground right here. And we need to make sure that this 14.5 goes away. Considering the alpha on this thing, we have plenty to take this guy down. We need to chase him out of this spot. I do want to avoid getting hit by the TS-5, but as you can see, the TS-5 is now otherwise engaged with another tank. So we'll just go ahead and auto-aim this guy, shoot him once. He can't even get his gun around. He's in hurting status, and we nuke him. T-29 still fighting the ML2. I'm kind of thinking he's not going to last very long. And it looks like maybe the TS-5 is the next hit point, so he's kind of hanging out there. And I'm yelling, reload, reload, reload. I want those hit points. Now there's only 89. Will I even get those? Don't know. And I'm thinking, no, don't back up where I can't get you. Okay, they stops. Here we go. Nope, nothing. Nothing. And we'll go fast forward because we tracked down the 1357. Look at that nice speed on this tank. What are we doing? We're doing 42, 43 across broken ground. Auto-aim this dude. Shoot him once. Shoot him twice. 3 times a lady. And top tier domination. 5,118 damage, 293 assist with 5 kills. Okay, top tier. Let's look at a couple other examples. All right, we've gone to the single shotgun, so we'll get an example of that. Plus, I want to show you a little bit of the mobility. This thing it's not super fast. It's not quite as fast as, say, the Tier 8, but it's faster than the Tier 8 Premium, and it brings a similar gun that the Tier 8 Premium has as far as the 2-shot goes. But I wanted to try the single shot and see what we got out of that thing. So I think, unlike the Tier 8, where the single shot is clearly better, on the Tier 9, it really is a bit of a crapshoot. I think technically you would say the 2-shot's better because it has that kind of unique ability to hammer people really hard twice in a row. However, the single shot, the mobility, the overall accuracy of this single shot gun, you get the same kind of idea from this single shot gun as you do from the Tier 8. It's just a better all-rounder when you're running the single shot gun. And I like the mobility of this thing. And while it's not super fast, it does move around. So here we are on Overlord. I've spawned in, logged in, whatever I've done something. We are we're in the north spawn, and we've come to the middle. In the middle, you need some decent mobility if you're going to run a heavy tank here. Light tanks and medium tanks do much better with their mobility. This thing is going to do okay. This guy, I don't know what he's doing, but he actually gets a chunk of me, at least my gun anyway. But we put a thump on him for 450, so he's going to lose those exchanges pretty much every time. And I don't think I take much longer to reload. So we're going to miss the super Pershing, the RHM. I'd really like to carve these 2 guys out of here. Again, we're top tier, but this time it's only 1 tier down, or it's only a 2-tier battle. So there's no 7s to beat up, but there's plenty of 8s. RHM takes a big hit right there, and I'm just thinking, what is he really going to do that? He is, and he eats a 461, going after the RHMB. And then I think, as I recall, I have a little bit of trouble killing people here. So I'm thinking, no, just kill him. No, that's armor not hit. Okay, great. Probably hit too low into the tracks. Maybe I'll... Alright, he died. That's good. What's this guy doing? Let's get him. Lazy auto aim, but it works. 432 and I are kind of getting hung up on each other. And now we'll just go track down the 430 version 2. They don't have a whole lot over here. I can tell by counting noses. They're really in the middle and over on the west side on the beach. I don't want to just drive up and over and let this guy track me. Additionally, because I'm still at about 10 seconds until my repair kit is fixed. That is something I've really tried to bring further into my cross-check, because I would have loved to just gone at that guy and kill him. The Kunza takes a chunk of me, and then I'm thinking, well, great, that's not good. I got to kind of go at this dude and get rid of him. And then I need to turn towards the Kunza so he stops shooting me. You know, doing things like stopping coming over hills when your kit is not there, when you have 10 seconds and you could do something else for 10 seconds and then come up and over. In case you get tracked, you can fix it. In that case, I didn't need it. I needed it for my gun. So the gun is fixed now. We're at 1,893. So we've kind of cleared off this edge. There is still a Hawk 30 lurking about. He's one of the biggest problems we have left on this map. A scout late game in this map, when there's many fewer tanks, is very powerful. It is on most maps, but this one in particular, because there's a lot of places that they can go and move around. This hill in the middle gives them a lot of cover to move around a bit, and if they can get into this hill and start locking you down with lines of sight from this little bowl area here, it's a nightmare to try to beat them late game, especially if they have some snipers with them. Of course, we still have a 432 right now, so that is helpful for us. So now we'll just swing around down to the middle, take a look over here and see if we can't do something to help these guys out. The char footer is over there. Come up here and maybe get a shot on somebody. No, let's not go too high. If we go too high, we get highlighted. It could be somebody sitting back. The Kanonenpanzer 105 is the one I'm worried about. I don't know where he is, and I don't want to highlight myself and start getting nuked by him. Really accurate gun, hits pretty hard, reloads fairly quickly. So between him and the Char and the Hawk and all the other snipers back there, probably not that survivable. They do have a Lurva down on the beach. I don't know, I think the TNH might be down there. It's hard to tell. I think he is down below. So now I'm just working with the LT-432, right? Sort of following along with him. Hey man, let's work together and see if we can't start tracking these guys down. He spins around. I see the Char. Now I'm thinking, all right, what if we go over here, come around the corner, and try to nuke the Char? If I can do this without the Hawk seeing me, it'll be bueno. Char takes a hit, so now he's a one-shot. And I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be beautiful. There we go. There we go. No Kanonen is the mantra right now. No Kanonen. I'm really hoping he's down by the cap, and it looks like he is, so I don't take any incoming shots. Back out of this, and then no reason to push. Big mistake I see a lot of people do. No reason to push in there. And then I find the Kunze, and I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, do I really want to do that? And then the Leopard says, well, I want to. I'm thinking, what if we come around here and we just gang tackle this guy, all three of us? And I'm thinking, don't do it, Leopard, just hold on, let the heavy come over. And he's like, nope, I'm going. So he goes, good on him. He takes 2 hits, which means there is somebody else around somewhere that can see him. We thump him once. He's getting hammered. He's not going to survive all 3 of us. Really well done. Shout out to the Leopard, Fusilador, and Onion, Orion signs. There you go. And that was huge for helping us win right there. The Hawk is now lit. That's the next guy on the hit list. If we can get rid of that guy, we're in great shape. This really sucked, by the way. He sees me, I fire, I don't know, goes into space, nothing. Now he's invisible. He's even sitting there. The Leopard can't even see the guy. Leopard takes a shot. There he is. We got him. Right? This will get him. Boom. Decently accurate gun. That's what I like about the single shot. It's going to zoom in pretty quickly. It's got a much more accurate dispersion, as we've seen. And now we're going to push up this way. You know, the thing about using the one-shot cyclical gun on this thing is it's not sexy, right? It's not its thing. It's not what the line is supposedly known for. It doesn't make it this, you know, amazing beast of a tank. It just, for me, it makes it a more versatile, usable tank. Would I have liked to have 2 shots on that guy? Yeah, probably. Would I have hit that? I don't know. The dispersion's much worse, so maybe I get 1 out of 2 on that. Maybe I don't even get the 2 in there. I really want to track down this. Actually, he's died. Never mind. I thought somewhere in there the Hawk died. I didn't realize that. Start working around here. Now just think about how all around this map I've been. I've been all over this map, back and forth. It's a heavy that can do that. Now things are really starting to break down for him. Very low hit points. We're in good shape. There's the Kanonen. He's pretty much where I thought he was, way in the back. I get lit doing that. That surprised me a little bit. Let's go to T56 dice. The 252U is somewhere in the middle. The Lurva is hanging out on the back edge there. They kill our Leopard PTA. This is the spot where light tanks can really do a good job. You have to be careful with your heavy. You can be lit right here pretty easily if you don't have great camo and they've got a lot of burn through. So don't just go driving up there thinking you're invincible. Take a little peek, back out, come back in. See? He's right there, by the way, so he's not too far off. I don't want to go up and over at him because I know the Kanonen's back there backing him up. We're really kind of a bit of a sandwich issue going on right here. And not many of us have a lot of hit points. In fact, I'm the one with the most hit points other than the Kanonen. And that's what you got to like about a mobile heavy like this. You just kind of reposition, come around here and see what you can do. There he is. Thinking, all right, he can't see me. Let's just do this. And he's dead. No, he didn't die. Side scrape. Is he going to come out? He might. I don't want to back out to where the Kanonen sees me. I'm going to take a chance and we'll just come over here and... Oh, look what he did. Thank you. We'll use this building. I move forward a little bit to keep the Lurva from hitting me, and then we'll use the downhill part of this to cover up against the Kanonen, but the Lurva dies. Brigitte gets him dead, and we'll spin around, and I think, I don't even know if I get the shot on this guy. Let's find out. Dun, 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 dun. We're going at him. Yeah, he's in this corner. I don't remember. Maybe. Nope, he's not there. Oh, he's over here. No, the Brigitte kills him. I don't even get the kill. All right, let's look at the third example. We get 3,130 damage, 351 assist. Mobile heavy, that's with the single shot cannon. All right, third example. We are here on Siegfried Line, and it is defense and an assault game, so we've only got 10 minutes. Again with the single shot cannon, we are running food. I just want to put one more plug in for the single shot cannon. The two-shot autoloader is what the line's about. You can't really go wrong with it. It's pretty awesome as far as how much damage it can drop quickly. The reload's not too painful, but I just really like the accuracy of this thing. Just come up over there and thump that guy. Sturv's running away. You gotta love when a Sturv gets too close. Here comes a T95. I want to watch out for him. Maybe we can get rid of this Pershing if we're lucky. We'll thump him again. Look at that. Boink. There's only one Artie, so until the Artie proves that he's looking at me, I'm just going to keep working this ridge right here. T95 is moving in. Checking 6 just in case. Nope, nothing going on there. And we're going to have some customers. And we got a T95, an ISU, the 105/1000. Pershing's dead now. T95 is just going to try to push in. I'm like, all right, thanks, dude. We'll just go ahead and pop over there and put a little thump on you. And it reloads so fast, I'm thinking, well, I'm probably going to get another shot. All right, Sturv bounced. Oh, I got some time while he reloads. Let's just do this. Boom, there's another one. Now we'll back out. And wow, you got to watch those Sturvs, right? My timing was such that I thought, I'll get a shot and he won't get another one. And he sure as heck got another shot. So let's just take a quick look this way and make sure somebody's not kind of coming around. And disappear. I think there's a lot of utility when there's guys staring at you like the Sturv probably is to just sort of disappear for a little while, do something else. They'll get bored, usually, and they'll start looking at something else to shoot at. I don't want to move in too close because I know there's multiple guys down there. You can see the TS5, the Conway, the 60 TPs work in the middle. I might have actually just missed a shot on the 60 TP. I sure did. I think he was, yep, I missed a shot on him. By the time I figured out he's going. But I still get it, right? Accuracy. The accuracy of that gun is so much nicer than the two-shot autoloader. We're up to 2,155. I barely got started. DPM is good in this game if you can get to it, right? DPM's all well and good, but you've got to be able to use it. Useful DPM is much different than just straight up DPM, and it has a lot to do with everything else about the tank. The accuracy, is the turret good for peeking? Does it have good gun depression to use lots of terrain? Does it have good penetration so it actually gets through on things? All of that stuff is taken into account on whether your DPM is useful or not. So I think now's the time to come around and see if I can't start sneaking some more shots into the T95. Not a great shot, I actually missed. Bounced off the back of the tank, I think, where it was angled. So we haven't done any damage for a little while, trying to figure out how to get some more. Looking for that T95 again, potentially. There it is. And I sort of figured this Sturv might get a free shot on me right there. We actually light that dude on fire, and he burns to the ground. STB says, thank you very little. I tell him he is welcome even less. Now we've got to figure out how to get rid of this TN105 dude. We got TS5 hanging out. Let's just snipe the hatch. All right. Gun says fine. We'll snipe the hatch. No worries. No worries. And the Artie finally figures out that I'm sitting there doing 3,600 damage and I need to be punished a little bit for that. Now I'm feeling like we can get in here and maybe peel out the T-54. Perhaps the Conway there. Get those guys dead before the 60 TP figures us out and comes around the corner, and then I'm thinking, oh crap, didn't quite get that done. 105 1000 dies. That's good. I didn't realize he'd actually snuck around behind me. I was wondering where he went. Conway's right there, so we'll come this way, potentially get a shot on the Conway. This way we're kind of covered up for the T6 or 60 TP. Put a thump on him, little help from my friends, down he goes, and we're at 4059. It's clean up on aisle 2. Haven't really had to use much APCR, if any. I don't know if I've actually used gold, maybe a couple shots. Relying just on the nice accuracy of this thing, vice the brute force punching through armor, getting around the side of people and all that good stuff. I figure he's probably going to thump me. So let's just aim in here and kill him. Yep. And guess what? He shot heat, and it looks like he went into my tracks. So, so no damage from the 60 TP. There's the Sturv. See if we can get a shot on him. Oh, you gotta love it. Look at the accuracy, just beautiful. Probably don't reload in time as I recall. Maybe I do. I guess I did. There you go. I guess I did. 3 kills. 4,805 damage. We have a G-SOR, an E75 with good hit points, and a 53-55. Get a little stuck in there. Here comes an Artie shot. Let's just go ahead and thump this G-SOR. Nope. I rushed it, and it went into his turret at a weird angle. No damage for you. Come on, E75. You can hold on. You have enough hit points. You can do it. There we go. He had just enough hit points to leave me with 58 damage for 1 kill. So up to 4 kills and 4,863. And then, oh no, STB rammed me as I fired, and I don't know if he did that on purpose or not. Let's find out. I meant to look at that actually. Let's see what happens here. We get a shot on the E75. All right, we start driving, and he's looking that way. I don't think he's even looking. That was weird. Stop it. No idea. I don't know why the camera kept changing. That was bizarre. I had it on free camera and it kept going back to something other. He rammed me just as I fired and ended up missing. All right, let's wrap this thing up, guys, for the Tier 9. What is this thing? TNH TVZ 51. Well, all right, my friends, what is the verdict on the Tier 9 Czech heavy tank after going through all of that? This is a solid Tier 9 tank. In the grand scheme of things, as far as the tech tree goes, I think it's the best of the bunch in my opinion. I don't have a lot of games in the Tier 10 yet, so that remains to be seen. I know it's putting up a lot of big numbers, But as far as the tier 7, 8, 9, and 10, of the 7, 8, and 9, I think the 9 is the best tank of them. Although I did eventually start liking the tier 8 with the single shot. I prefer the single shot. I do get that the auto reloader is kind of auto loader is what this thing is built around. And it is nice to thump out about 900 alpha in about 3 seconds. Maybe a little more with aiming time and such, unless you're really just right in their face. So I kind of like actually that it has two viable guns that can both work, and there's not huge disadvantages to one or the other that would make the other one vastly superior. I just did not enjoy the gun handling of the auto loader, and the single shot just worked out a lot better for me. Interesting tank. I liked the speed. It's the best, I think, as I said, of the tier 7, 8, and 9, and that's pretty much all there is to say about that. Interesting that it is basically the same tank and chassis as the tier 8 premium, which is so good. Weird. That's weird. That's weird. Also, just FYI, the tier 8 premium still has more alpha per shot than the tier 9 heavy tank has with the double shot. Wargaming, what are you doing? I don't know. In that case, I can't comprehend it, but there you go. That's all I've got. Let me know what you guys think down below, and if you've got any essay on the tier 10, I'm glad to hear that as well. As you can see, I do have it in the garage. I just haven't played it a whole bunch. Thanks for coming by and checking out my review of the TNH TVZ 51 Czech Tier 9 Heavy Tank. That's all I've got. We will see ya.